times when live recording music playing here in the sanctuary, folks online will be listening to a different music. That is due to copyright restrictions. If we had to play the actual recording, our live stream would be shut down by YouTube very quickly. So while we're listening to recorded music here, or when the honor guard walks in with Aurora, it will be to the music of Zach Bryan and the song Pink Skies. Unfortunately for you folks watching at home, we will have to play some generic music during that time, and anytime there's recorded music here, you will be getting generic music back home. So we will proceed now shortly. Again, good afternoon, folks. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Daniel Garland. I'm pastor at Gander Victory Church. And we'd like to extend our gratitude to Pastor Mike and Evangel Pentecostal for making their facilities available to us today. It's greatly appreciated. And I can say that on behalf of both the Keats and the Janes family. Today, this is a celebration. I know it seems sorrowful, but the families are asking you not to dwell on our passing today. But let's dwell on the life she lived, the energy she exuded, the joy she brought to those that she came in contact with. I never had the privilege of getting to know Aurora very much, but she's come to our church a couple of times, and it was delightful to be around her. So we're here this afternoon to celebrate that life, to remember the times that she's lifted us up, the times that she's made you smile, the times she's brought joy to your heart. We're going to begin by reading a passage from Scripture. From 1 Corinthians chapter 15, we're going to read from verse 20 to verse 26. It says, "But Christ has indeed been raised from the dead, the first fruits of those who have fallen asleep. For since death came through a man, the resurrection of the dead comes also through a man. For as in Adam all die, so in Christ all will be made alive, but each in turn. Christ, the first fruits, and then when he comes, those who belong to him, then the rest will come. When he hands over the kingdom to God the Father, after he has destroyed all dominion, authority, and power. For he must first reign until he has put all his enemies under his feet. The last enemy to be destroyed is death." Let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we give you praise. We give you glory. We give you thanks. You have given Aurora to us for a season, and we thank you for that time. You have received her back into your tender, loving care. And we give you thanks that you have exalted her. You have given her a resurrected body. You have given her new life. And we have come here today to celebrate and give thanks for the life that she had here on earth that she shared with us. And we give you the praise for all that. In Jesus' name, amen and amen. Before we get the guest speakers up, I want to extend our condolences from Gander Victory Church to the Keats family, the Janes family. Wes and Heather, nobody knows what you're going through right now except those who have endured it themselves. But we stand next to you. We are here to hold your hand, to be what comfort we can to you, to hold you in our prayers, to give you a hand to hold, a shoulder to cry, and to encourage you and lift you up during this time. There's no way I can tell you you're going to get over this. All comfort I can give to you is you will learn to live with this. And we will stand by your side as you go through this. And you will forever be in our prayers, both now and forever. And again, to the Janes family and to the rest of the Keats family, that applies also to you as well. We are all here today to celebrate Aurora, but also to give you what comfort we can. And we will leave that in God's hands from now on. We have some people who want to pay tribute as well, some family and friends. The first one to come forward is Stephanie Janes. It's Heather's sister and Aurora's aunt.
Oh, why did I say I would go first? A while back, a group of our family went for dinner at a restaurant, and some of us decided to take a selfie afterwards. As we all looked at the pictures to make sure everyone was happy with them, I said in passing, "Ugh, why do I look so puffy?" Aurora looked at me and said, "Auntie Steph, what's with the negative self-talk?" And she was right. We shouldn't focus on what we perceive as the negatives in ourselves. We shouldn't talk to ourselves in a way we wouldn't talk to someone we care about. To this day, anytime I find myself being self-critical or hard on myself, I hear Aurora's voice saying, "Auntie Steph, what's with the negative self-talk?" From the time she could talk, she was described as being wise beyond her years, an old soul. And that never changed. She was so young, but so smart and insightful, and she taught so many people so many things. How to be brave, how to screen record on an iPhone. She mentored younger gymnasts and was a living example of how to be a good human. That day in a restaurant hallway, she taught me about the power of self-talk. She was a young teenager, and I, the middle-aged adult, was learning from her. I know many of the people here today and watching online learn things from her too. I suspect we could spend a day making a list of things everyone has learned from her. When our cousin Jordan married Ashley a few years ago, Aurora was their junior bridesmaid. I've never seen anyone so proud. She sat with all the bridesmaids in her matching satin robe, getting her hair and makeup done along with them. She was one of the girls, and she fit right in with those adults. That old soul was shining bright. That evening during the reception, she and I went to the bathroom together because that's what you do with your girlfriends. And she asked me to fix her hair for her. And I looked in the mirror at both of us. I said, "Oh, Aurora." And she said, before I could finish, "I know. I look beautiful." And I chuckled to myself and thought, if only we could all have the confidence of this 11-year-old girl. So when we went back to our table, I asked Pearson if we were going dancing later, and of course he was in. And he blew us all away with his moves just a little while later. I asked Aurora if she was going to hit the dance floor with us, and she said, "No, I'm not dancing." By the end of the night, she was leading a conga line around the dance floor. And that's who she was. She opened her mind to doing something she didn't think she wanted to do, did the thing, and had an absolute blast while urging everyone else on. Another thing she taught many people to do: open your mind and try the thing. Aurora had the confidence and wisdom of someone at least twice her age. When you looked into those eyes, you saw wisdom and also that mischievous twinkle. And when those eyes twinkled like that, you never knew what she was about to say or do. But you did know it was going to be hilarious, and you were about to start gut-bust laughing. She lit up every room and filled it with laughter, her own and everybody else's. To Aurora's friends, here and watching online, you're far too young to have to go through what you're experiencing right now. And I can't pretend to know what it's like to lose a friend at your age and what that does to you. But what I do know is Aurora loved you all. Her friends were her life, and there was no doubt in anyone's mind how much she loved you. She has an Instagram highlight just for her friends, and one of the collages is overlaid with the words, "Rich in life because I have you." So thank you all for making her life richer and for being in it. You knew her and you loved her, and that left a piece of her on your hearts. And you will carry that love and a piece of Aurora with you for the rest of your lives. She will always be with you because you all carry her in your hearts now. Most of you don't even know me, but for what it's worth, I want you to know that my heart hurts for all of you, and I am grateful for every single one of you and what you meant to her. This coming summer, Aurora was going to teach me to stand up paddleboard. I've been wanting a board for years, but I've been a bit scared that I'll be bad at it, I'll just fall in, I will look ridiculous. So we made a plan. I was going to buy one and bring it to Square Pond, and she was going to teach me. Once again, she would be doing the teaching, and I would be doing the learning. So now I have to do what Aurora did on that dance floor at Jordan and Ashley's wedding. Open my mind, do the thing, and have a blast. I have to stop that negative self-talk and just go try. If I fall in, I fall in. If I look foolish, I look foolish. I will be bad at it, and that's okay. Aurora was always proud of anyone who tried new things, and I'm going to try for her. Anyone who knows me knows I've never really been a pink kind of person. I just didn't care for that color. This week, I've learned to love the color pink. From now on, to me, pink represents Aurora. Every time I see a pink sky, a pink flower, or wear my new pink t-shirt, I will feel closer to her. It may seem like a silly and insignificant thing. It's a color, I mean, come on. But now in my mind, the color pink has been reserved for her. I'm glad I never liked it, because now I have something that just represents her to me, in my mind and in my heart. This week I opened my mind like Aurora would have and embraced something I didn't care for before. Even now, still, I am learning from her. So I guess you could say I'm trying really hard to live like Aurora.
Thank you, Stephanie. Next, we have Vanessa John, Nicole Sand, Erin Vivian, Sarah Kirby, close family friends.
My name's Vanessa. This is Sarah, Erin, and Nicole. We are actually Heather's chosen family, too. I know the program says family friends, but Heather wanted you to know that that was a mistake, and that it should have said chosen family, so I'm correcting that for Heather. We each have a few words to say, and I know this is going to be hard for all of us, and I think I said we should be really, really brief, and I'll probably talk the longest. Aurora was someone just a little bit beyond all of us. You have all been hearing about this for days, that she was light and love, a spark, that she was kind, that she was just an amazing child, and every single word of that is true. This isn't people saying kind things because we've lost her. This is Aurora. All children are special, but Aurora was especially so. Aurora lived a life any child would dream of, and she was so grateful. She knew how much her family and friends adored her, and we can all be grateful in knowing that the things being said about her now were things that were said to her when we all had the chance. Aurora knew how loved she was. I don't think she knew how far her reach went or how far she had impacted people, but she would have been so proud to know that. She would have been honored to see your pink lights and your pink hockey tape and your sticks and your scrunchies and your hoodies and your stickers and your ribbons. She also would have loved to know that she was the reason that your report cards and parent-teacher interviews were postponed. And she would have said, "You're welcome." Aurora was giving and loving and kind and fun and brave and outgoing and respectful and just the right amount of sassy. She was the best of all of us. She was funny and fun and determined like her brother. She was brave and dedicated like her dad. She was sarcastic and sharp-witted and generous and would drop anything if you needed her, just like her mom. Aurora excelled at everything in her life and was so happy to see that her hard work was paying off in volleyball and gymnastics and softball. She was so excited about coaching young children and teaching them. She was excited to learn and undeterred by any setback. She loved to help people become the best version of themselves and cheer them on as they did. All of our children have stories about things they've done, the bravest things they've done. And every single one of those stories involved Aurora being there to hold their hands and convince them they could do it. Her courage was unmatched and exceeded only by her willingness to share with those around her. Aurora was always just excited to go, and she was excited to do. I've said countless times this week, we never had to drag Aurora anywhere, maybe to school, but other than that, she was always so excited to go anywhere, and she was just life. Aurora, I loved you so much, and not just because you were a child in our lives, but because of all of who you were. Because it was impossible not to love you. Kid, I made a lot of promises to you in the years we had together, and I know I kept most of them. And I'm so sorry for the ones I didn't get to keep. I'm sorry I never got to teach you how to make my brownies. I'm sorry I said you weren't allowed to post that video of me dancing like a chicken. I promised there would have been another one. I'm sorry that your mom and I never got to build cabins together at pine camps with windows where yours and Abby's would face each other. I have more promises to make to Aurora now, and I would like all of you to join me in making them. I promise that every time I play volleyball, I will try harder for her. I promise never again drag myself through life wishing for a day to end. I promise to never again lose sight of the excitement in every day that is there if we just look for it. To seize adventure and fun like you did. To try to live like you did. To be energetic and up for anything like you were. To be brave and to help others find their courage like you would have. I promise to never let myself feel too old or embarrassed to be in silly videos or to dance and to share those videos. I promise I will take Abby to Hawaii. You can all take her too if you want. She'll go more than once. I promise I will love your family for the rest of my days. I will hold your mom up and hold her together as best I can. I promise to talk about you and never let the world forget you were here, though I don't think they ever could. I promise I won't say no to a get-together, and I promise we will always order the Monza sticks. I promise I'll only use one ga for a cut when two isn't necessary. I promise to never be so scared that I won't jump. I promise to hike and run and play and I was gonna say swim. I promise I'll try to swim. I hate swimming. She used to want me to do it all the time and I don't like it. I promise I will never ever forget to marvel at the beauty of a sunset and to take the pictures. Aurora, for all of us who loved you, the hardest part of losing you will be living every day without you. We are all different people now. Who we were was forever changed because of you, and now changed again because we've lost you. We don't know how to do life without you, but we will try. And we will never forget in the days and moments to come when the hurt of your loss feels so unbearable, that this grief that we're all feeling is love. Grief is love we never got to give you. And we will be so grateful for every tear and heartache, because those are our love for you, and how lucky we are that we got to love you for the days that we had you here. I love you, kid.
So two things. I definitely won't be that long. As it turns out, I absolutely really do not like public speaking, but I'm going to try something new. I'm Nicole. As a group of families, we are in each other's lives every day. We share the joy of accomplishments. We feel pride in each other's wins and hard work. We celebrate all of our children's successes. We support the struggles by hatching plans that often involve travel plans around dawn. We share love, so much love, and we feel each other's losses like they are our own. I'd like to share a short poem written by Mary Yarnall. It's called Too Soon. There was a life that had hardly begun, no time to find your place in the sun, no time to do all you could have done, but we loved you enough for a lifetime. No time to enjoy the world and its wealth, no time to take life down off the shelf. No time to sing the songs of yourself, though you had enough love for a lifetime. Those who live long endure sadness and tears, but you'll never suffer the sorrowing years. No betrayal, no anger, no hatred, no tears, just love, only love in your lifetime.
Okay, so it's my turn. These are hard acts to follow. I love you. Once in a lifetime, we meet a person so special, so true, that just being in their presence feels like the sunlight. Aurora was that person. To me, my family, and countless others she came in contact with. Her infectious smile and her encouraging words made everyone feel they could accomplish anything. To make her acquaintance was always the beginning of a new and special friendship. Aurora, you were deeply loved, and you gave love so deeply, and that is nothing short of pure magic. I have a poem, if I can read it, that was written by one of her friends, Carson Nichols, in her honor. A beautiful soul, forever 14. You were like a ray of sunshine, lighting up every room with your laughter. Taken so soon, left, making the sky so beautiful. Our memories engraved in my mind. I'll find you in another life. I see your smile in the stars, shining bright like you always did. I hear your laughter in nature, so beautiful and calming. A perfect girl, now an angel, forever 14, never forgotten. We love you so much.
I should say first that I have not read through this entirely. It may not even make sense. I told Heather I tried to read it in my driveway and I started to cry. And she said, "Why were you in your driveway?" And I said, "Because I just couldn't go in the house." And she said, "Oh, I thought you were standing there practicing." So I'm gonna pretend that I'm in my driveway, standing by my garbage can reading this, because I needed to laugh at that time, and hopefully that'll light it for me. So, like everyone here today, I loved Aurora deeply, and it is an honor of a lifetime to have friends who love your children as if they are your own. And I can tell you, witnessing the love that these women have for Aurora is something to truly behold, and one we are lucky enough to get back in spades from Heather, who has somehow been able to love and care for everyone's kids this week through her heartache. I don't know how. When we were asked to speak, I didn't hesitate, but I knew that the memories I made with Aurora in the last 5 years that we have lived here, they just don't hold a candle to the lifetime of memories that she has made with these women and their families. But the beautifully hard part about connection and precious memories is that they cause the things that we loved to share together to feel nearly impossible to endure in the future. My children just turned 8, and they loved Aurora. Kate had the closest thing to heart eyes every time she saw her. She idolized her, and Aurora always had time for her. She always was present with her, and she couldn't be rushed because it's how she was with everyone. And since Monday, Kate keeps saying she doesn't want to go camping anymore because Aurora and our dog both love to camp, and she just doesn't want to go without them. Because you see, she's 8, and she doesn't know yet that those hard moments that feel impossible, the ones that feel like the emptiness will just take you, are the same moments that you will get to continue to share with the ones that you so desperately wish were there. The raw moments where you're happy and you're heartbroken and somehow you're happy that you get to be heartbroken at the same time. The day that we learned that we wouldn't get to camp with Aurora again, she said through tears, "I miss Aurora, and I miss the Northern Lights." And my breath caught because she didn't know yet that there's another name for the Northern Lights, and that I felt that she connected the feeling of these two beautiful things that she loved. And I explained to her that Aurora Borealis is another name for the Northern Lights. And then she asked me what Pearson's name means. And I told Heather, jokingly, how do I nicely say, it doesn't mean anything, they just really like how it sounds. And then Heather said, Pearson's name means rock, because that's what he'll need to be. And I thought, of course it means rock, because no one loves the strength and unique qualities of a good rock like Wes. And because together, Aurora and Pearson, well, they made up their whole universe, the grounding presence of the rock in their family and the vast, never-ending, always changing sky. And like I said to Kate, that when she missed those Northern Lights, it felt to me like she put those two special things together, and maybe she did. But then I shared this story with Vanessa through my own tears, and she said, of course, because she was with Aurora when she got to see the Northern Lights. I had totally forgotten. She was. Last Friendsgiving, we stood in the middle of the road in Terra Nova in awe together. And now she will always think of her when she sees them again. And just like all of you who loved her will always think of her when you do small, beautiful things that feel really impossible right now. When you are ready, you will share them together again as you do the hard things that you both loved. Because the last thing that brave girl would want is to take any of the joyful moments away from anyone that she loved. So, with that in mind, I'm gonna finish, and I know I've been talking a long time already, with a poem that I wrote inspired by a rare and special girl with a rare and beautiful name. A name is just a combination of letters. It's just sounds put together. It's the word that your family uses to identify their whole world with their voice. It holds no requirements, no fate, and no claim until a little girl is born and steps into her name. For most, a name is exactly that, a word called for attendance, scribbled on cards, and pulled from hats. They say you can't judge the contents by the cover of a book. But what happens when a child shares a name with a rare and beautiful event that demands that you stop and look? What happens when the name that is chosen, softly spoken, carefully given, is no longer just a word, when it symbolizes a laugh that's no less than a melody we were lucky to have heard? When the name is held by a force and a fire and a presence, since the little girl who owns it embodies its essence. Because Aurora was a moment you just had to witness, a wild, dancing, beautiful light that could fill the whole sky, truly magnetic. She made you believe you could fly. Both of them so bold and breathtaking, you just couldn't look away, leaving you in awe of their wonder and desperate for them to stay. If you've ever seen the Northern Lights, then you understand. You're left feeling lucky for your timing that you got to bear witness, and the thirst for its magnetic magic is one you can't quench. Those who've shared in her joy, fearlessness, and big, big love, whether in their kitchen, on the dance floor, or beside her on the bench, can't quite express the feeling of having those dancing, vibrant, bright lights shine around you yet. You know those feelings are moments you cannot possibly forget. You understand what you witnessed was special and rare, the kind that demands that you just stop and stare, because it is brief and it is beautiful and it cannot be recreated. But you are one of the rare few that got to deeply feel it. You can replay that dance and that wonder it made you feel, the scene that shows you that wild beauty is real. But you will never see it if you keep your head down and you do not stand tall. Her light is sparked by your courage in embracing it all. You will need to be watching and you will need to be brave. You have to be willing to take a walk in the dark, because it is there you will find her magnetic light. It will continue to dance within your heart when the timing is right. Aurora, all I can say is it was enchanting to meet you.
Okay, next we have Bailee James. That's Stephanie's daughter and cousin to Aurora.
My sister Taylor and I agree. Aurora was always like our third sister. She was the life of the party, always up for anything. No matter what activity it was, she was ecstatic to be a part of it. And she quickly became the center of it. The privilege of being Aurora's first cousin meant getting to watch her grow from the day that she was born. We got to watch her grow into the most charismatic, bright, and eccentric soul this world has ever seen. It meant getting to give her a big hug and at least 11 kisses on the top of the head at every family dinner. She was never embarrassed. She never got sick of it. She just squeezed back and giggled. I wish I could tell you one more time how much brighter the world was with your sparkle, and what a massive impact you had on every single person you met. I wish I could tell you that getting to watch you grow into the beautiful soul that you are is one of the greatest gifts I've ever been given, and that you're the coolest person I've ever met. I know you looked up to me, but I looked up to you just as much. I wish I could put into words how very much you meant to me, but there aren't enough words. You are inspiring. If you put Aurora in a room full of strangers, she would have a room full of friends in about 42 seconds. She has filled our family with laughter and positivity since the day that she was born. She was the most pleasant, joyful, and loving toddler that you could ever meet. Her laugh was infectious, since she could physically laugh. I remember doing cartwheels in Nanny and Poppy's backyard when she was about 2, and it made her laugh so hard that she actually fell in the grass. Every person who met her loved her. She had so many friends that it was impossible to ever keep up. But because Aurora was Aurora, she stayed connected to all of them. She was loved by all, and she loved them back. Everything she did or felt, she did with spirit and care. We will never be able to fill the space that you left behind, but you will be celebrated, remembered, and loved every single day. We will remember you when we see a gymnast with a beautiful floor routine, when we hear Taylor's version play. We will remember you when we see sunglasses, when we see a Celsius energy drink, and pink skies. We will remember you when we see Aurora Borealis in the sky. You are our most beautiful, spirited, perfect girl, and everyone who knows you will never be the same without you. I love you.
And next we have Lori McKay and Christa Jeans. These are Heather's cousins.
I'm told I have to do the speaking. She's just here for support. Aurora, my darling. You were such a vivacious soul, the kindest, loving, most energetic, loudest person in the room. There was no denying your presence when you entered it. Your zest for life can be matched by few others. How do we begin to deal with the sorrow of missing you? You were loved and adored by so many. To know you was to love you. Your cousins in Ontario were all supposed to make countless more memories with you like we did with your mom growing up. But we are most grateful and blessed to have had the time with you that we did. Our kids, your cousins, adored and loved you. You were magnetic. They were drawn to you. You had all gotten to the age that making plans for our families to be together weren't coming from us anymore. You all had your little chat groups, did some grand plan scheming with these supposed massive bank accounts to support your ideas. We enjoyed your visits in Ontario. We're so thankful Heather and Wes started doing that back a number of years ago. While you all started out as distant cousins, you all quickly became the best of friends. With countless memories of Niagara Falls experiences, campground shenanigans, pool days, go-kart racing,
endless shopping sprees that Aurora wanted, Canada's wonderland, and car rides with music blasting Haley. Memories made, laughter heard, and love felt that will now last a lifetime. Uncle Kurt and Aunt Elva, Steve and Natalie and the kids so desperately wish they could be with us here in person. And the rest of my kids. But Uncle Kurt and Aunt Elva, Steve and Nat sent along a message. And they wanted to say, our hearts are broken and we grieve with you all at this most unbearable time. Aurora loved to be with the family, and we were blessed to have her here with us in Ontario these past few summers. We all loved and looked forward to Heather, Wes, Aurora, and Pearson visiting. We wish we could be there in person with you all, but we're unable to being due out of the country. Our hearts, love, and prayers are with you all. Heaven has certainly gained a precious soul. I have another message from Jordan. Our brother Stephen's daughter. Aiden, Tyler, Jordan, and Aurora were inseparable when together. And she's unfortunately unable to be here, and asked I pass along the message. Lord only knows how perfect you were, and the grief that now comes with the loss of you. You were the most genuine and kind-hearted soul I've ever met. No matter the time or place, you always wanted to enjoy the moment and make the best of every situation. The way you lit up a room when you walked into it was like no other. When I cried in your arms at the airport when you left Ontario last summer, you told me to give it up and said I'd see you again. If I'd known then what I know now, I never would have let you go. You lived your life passionately and to the fullest every single day. You were my best friend, and I was honored to be able to call you my cousin. I will always be thankful for the memories we've made and the blessing of knowing you. You will always live on in my heart and my soul, my beautiful girl. Rest easy and light up the sky, Aurora. As Poppy said the other night, if only love could bring her back. Lori's response was she never would have left in the first place. You were taken far too soon, my darling. Your life was an open book, an unfinished story that we so desperately wanted to continue reading. With teardrops running down our face, we say farewell. See you on the other side. You are gone and not forgotten, forever in our hearts. Today, tomorrow, and always. We love you.
Okay, next we have a photo tribute. And I'll have to let the folks watching by live stream know again that the music that goes with this you will not be able to hear due to copyright restrictions. But, the songs that are being played, Bigger Than the Whole Sky by Taylor Swift, and the song 22 by Taylor Swift. The 122, they tell me, is an upbeat song. It was picked by Aurora herself to celebrate the joy that she brought. So we'll be able to watch it up here. No doubt she was full of life. Next, Heather's brother-in-law, Aurora's Uncle Brian, will be coming up to read the messages.
Seems hard to believe, so many people here, that there's someone never made it, but I do have a couple of messages to pass along. From Aurora's softball coaches, this past summer we were honored and privileged to be the coaches of the Gander Minor Softball Association, where we had the pleasure of getting to know Aurora Keats. From the very beginning of our time together, Aurora's bright smile, bubbly personality, and confidence immediately stood out to all of us. Aurora showed up to the field every day with a positive attitude and a treat from Kelly's Corner, ready to pour her all into every practice. Her enthusiasm and infectious energy made her teammates drawn to her, and she was the first to pick someone up when they were feeling down. Whether it was during drills or a game, Aurora had a competitiveness and a drive that radiated throughout her whole team. It was impossible to be sad or upset when she was around, because Aurora would always jump in with a joke or an encouraging cheer from the dugout. At the end of the season, when it came time to select awards, Aurora undoubtedly painted the perfect picture of what it meant to be the most spirited. The dedication, liveliness, and passion that she consistently displayed left a lasting impression on her entire softball family. As coaches, we strive to be positive role models and pass on genuine love and support for our sport. But a special bond was created because Aurora truly enriched the lives of her coaches. Through her presence, though her presence will be dearly missed, on the field, Aurora's bright spirit will live on in every act of kindness, every smile we share, and every moment of laughter. You hold a special place in our hearts forever, sweet girl. Love your coaches, Hillary Humphreys, Olivia Linden, Brooklyn Payne, Grace Briffett, and Sophie O'Brien. From Lori Elliott, Aurora was more than just a bright young girl. She was a light in our community, in programs, and in the lives of so many. In my work, I had the privilege of being a leader to Aurora, but the truth is, she taught me just as much as I could ever teach her. Her energy, kindness, and determination were an inspiration to everyone who knew her. Her presence made every space brighter. Her passion for life was undeniable. Aurora had a way of making people smile, lifting others up, and reminding us all of the joy in the small moments. She had so much ahead of her, and losing her so soon is a heartbreak beyond words. Aurora, I will miss you more than words can say. Your laughter, your spirit, and your kindness will live on in our hearts forever. Rest easy, sweet girl. From Darren, Judy, Rodney, and Stephen Powell, Wes, Heather, and Pearson, losing a daughter is a pain that no parent should ever have to feel. Our thoughts and prayers are with you today and all the days ahead. Please remember you are not alone. Words cannot express how sorry we are for your loss. Love, Darren, Judy, Rodney, Stephen Powell from Fort McMurray. And lastly, from cousins Kenny, Alexander, Avery, and Allison Jeans. Wes, Heather, and Pearson, we grieve with you today. Our hearts are broken for your loss. Aurora truly had a light about her that brightened every room she entered, and everyone who knew her felt her warmth and her kindness. It's so unfair that someone so young and so full of life is no longer with us, but the impact she had on all of us will never be forgotten. I am so sorry for your loss, and I am sending you all my love and strength during this incredibly difficult time. Love, Kenny, Alexander, Avery, and Allison.
Okay, if anybody else would like to come out and pay tribute to Aurora, the floor is open to you.
To my dearest Aurora, your smile was so contagious and bright. Your heart was so pure and full. Not many people are defined as perfect, but you are not just anybody. You are one of a kind. Whenever you walked into the room, the attention went to you because of your natural beauty and the bright mood you set off immediately. Now you are in a better place where the sun is always shining and where you can rest peacefully without any stress. You mean so much to so many people in this room, and we wish nothing but the best for you from here. As we all know, Aurora was a multi-sport athlete and loved nothing more than being with her friends. So, in honor of her, please take a minute to reach out to someone you love and comfort them and make sure they know they are loved and needed. During these tough times, it's important that we lean on each other and support one another, as no one should go through times like these alone. Everybody here probably knew Aurora had the best humor. She brought everyone she talked to joy and laughter, and that's what we have to remember about her. This girl is truly unforgettable in every single way you could think of, from her head to her toes. We will remember and grow by remembering Aurora as the amazing person she was. Please rest easy, our gorgeous girl. We love you endlessly.
To my best friend in the whole world. This is the hardest thing that I'll ever have to say. Ever since I met you, my life has been filled with light and memories. You are the light in every room. When I see your perfect smile and I hear your amazing laugh, everything just gets better because I know I have you. All throughout my life, you have taught me so much. How to be myself and not care about what others think. Almost everything I know now is because of you. And I can just remember how much you pushed me to doing my best. You were always supporting me to do better, whether in school or doing our sports together. You're in such a better place now, where you can look down on all of us. I know you're here with me everywhere I go. Even though I can't see you, I can just feel it. You impacted so many people's lives for the better. Everyone in school, the gym, and you were loved by all of them. I can just remember the feeling of walking into our school and knowing I could see your beautiful face. But sadly, that didn't happen when I went back, and that won't happen again. No one should ever have to go through the pain of losing their best friend, and yet, where am I? This is what a lot of us are going through because Aurora had so many friends, and she loved every single one of them. Every day she'd talk about a new person she met. She always wanted to go see them, and that I needed to meet them because she thought they loved me. I can just remember me and Aurora talking on Monday about how this summer we were going to try and convince our parents to let me go to Ontario to visit her cousins. She always talked about them, and that was one of the many things she wanted us to do together. I never had to think about you not being here, but today we all have came in your remembrance. I will cherish you for the rest of my life, and you will always be remembered. I love you so much, and I hope everyone remembers these 3 words. Live like Aurora. Where do I even start? May 27th, 2010 to March 10th, 2025. Something I would never imagine writing. This is one of the hardest days of my life. My heart is so heavy and everything feels empty, but this girl was seriously the highlight of my life, and becoming one of her best friends was a privilege that I will never forget. The passing of your best friend is something you would never think of, but unfortunately it's happening. And going through it, I realized how much I loved her and her family and how grateful I was to have such an amazing friend. Having someone that looked up to me as her big sister was the best feeling in the world. To know that she was so excited for me to do big things fills my heart with so much joy. Monday morning, she had texted me, so excited, saying, "Only 14 more days until you get your permit. I can't wait for you to drive me around." Little did I know I wouldn't get that opportunity. To have someone that encouraged me through everything and influenced me to make all good decisions, and someone that I would always be talking to, no matter if that was in person or on FaceTime, in any situation, shows how good she was. This beautiful, kind-hearted girl had the best personality and so many great friends. No matter who you were, she was so welcoming and brought a smile to everyone's face. She would have done big things in this world. She was a bright light taken far too soon. I will hold our memories so close forever and cherish them every day. The grief we are all experiencing is so hard and will definitely be a long process, but we all know she wouldn't want anyone to go through it alone. Aurora, I miss you so much, but I know I will always have a guardian angel who will look out for me at any point in my life. You never failed to brighten my day. I love you so much, forever and always.
I'm Pop. And today I'm doing something that you'd never see me do. I'm wearing pink. Because this girl meant more to me than anything I could say. And all the kind words that have been said today, or all I can say is ditto, ditto, ditto. And I wasn't planning to say anything, and as they were talking, I took up my phone and I wrote down 4 words. Aurora, pink, the borealis, an incredible light placed in the sky by our Creator, adopted by my daughter and son-in-law as Aurora's name. And she became a light to all who knew her, And so many apparently knew her and knew of her that we didn't even realize when we see the tributes that are pouring in from around the island and the things that are being done. And just one other little thing that this morning is we were over at the funeral home, and Tyler and I were doing a lot of what we've done with all the family this week, hugging each other and crying on each other's shoulders. And I said to Tyler, Aurora is in heaven. If they didn't have a volleyball team, they do now. And he said, yes. And if it was quiet when she got there, it's not quiet now. And I said, yes, Tyler, I'm pretty certain heaven was not quiet, but it's now a bit louder. And I've been saying to our family and friends and Aurora's friends all week, we'll meet her again. She's in a heavenly home, and she's waiting for us. And today, as we mourn and grieve, we just have to do more of what we've been doing this week. Be there for each other, a shoulder to cry on. And I just noticed Aaron sitting here. And Aaron has always told me, I'm not a hugger. And this week, she's kind of gotten used to it. And she actually came into the funeral home a couple of days ago and she said, I have to give you a hug because I was given one by somebody else to pass on to you. So I said, that's it, girl. You're over it. You can do it any time now. She was our girl. I had 3 beautiful daughters. I still have 3. One I can't hug for a while. On behalf of us all as a family, thank you for coming and sharing and supporting us. May the goodness, the grace of God support us all till we meet her again. God bless you.
Now, Aurora's, oh, sorry. Didn't see you there. Sorry. No.
Hello, my name is Avery. I did NL games with Aurora, and I did gymnastics with her. Words can't even describe how beautiful of a person this girl was. Everything about her, inside and out, was perfect. She never failed to make me laugh when I was upset, and I can't believe she's gone. The world deserves more people like Aurora, who are as loving and as kind as her. She's always been by my side, and now that I look back, I wish I told her I loved her one more time. She deserved those words the most. Everyone who knew Aurora would tell you how she was such a bright person and how she would always be there for you. Seeing her smile and listening to the videos she would send me always made me feel better. It was impossible not to love such a bright person. I didn't see her often because she lived so far away, but I now know that far trip would have been worth it. I see her at every gymnastics competition cheering me on no matter what. If someone told me yesterday this would happen, I wouldn't believe them. I wish I could have seen you one more time. You will never be forgotten. I will see you in every sunset. I will go to school for you. I will live my life for you. I love you, Aurora. You'll never be forgotten.
Hi, my name is Jenna, and I also went to NL games with Aurora, and we did gymnastics together. Aurora's love never made me feel I needed like anything more. This sweet girl had it all. Looks, personality, and was hilarious. Her teethy smile could light up any room, and her laughs echoed throughout hallways. Aurora never failed to cheer anyone up. I'm absolutely devastated, along with lots of others. She is so loved, and this is so surreal.
I'm waiting for her to run into any room with her Celsius in her hand, her Root sweatpants, and the gray hoodie from Blue Notes we bought together. Her hair straightened or in a loose braid, but nevertheless, her smile so bright. Her future was so bright. I wish I could hug her one last time. I know she would want me to stay strong, to get up in the morning and to shower, to brush my hair and to do my makeup, to look pretty, as she said I always did, will forever remind me, I wish I could hear her voice again. So many things will forever remind me of her, and I will carry them proudly with her soul by my side. Not physically, but every day I can feel her aura around me. Aurora was an amazing gymnast. We won so many medals together and cheered each other on. In about 2 weeks, we were supposed to win more, but this angel story was cut way too short. Watch the sunsets for Aurora and take a run to get your feelings out. She loved running. My condolences towards her close family and friends. Never forget that death is inevitable. Don't stay upset at your loved ones. Give them a hug and tell them you love them. Your life is so fragile. I miss you, best friend, forever 14, my sweet girl. I love you.
It's okay.
I'm.
You loved Aurora.
Yes, but.
It's okay, honey. It's okay.
I loved Aurora because she helped me get through most of my fears. And she was a really good, she felt like a sister to me.
My name's Gracie. Me and Aurora were really good friends when I was younger, when I first moved here from Edmonton, when I had no friends. And she was like the nicest person, and I just wish I could still see her. I wrote this the other day. I sit and I stare out my window, and I stare and I stare. Stare so far into the sky, the moon can feel my soul. The connection I have with the stars is something no one else will understand. I'm not crazy, I say to myself as I sit and I stare. I see her and I feel her, and I love her. Memories I will never be able to make. A laugh I can no longer hear, and the voice I'm beginning to forget. I'll never forget her. Her hair, her smile, her eyes, but most importantly, her perfect soul. The goosebumps I feel, I lost where I am. The struggle I feel getting out of bed, knowing I woke up and she didn't. How do I live with myself, knowing I live past another day and your body is stuck in the past? I sit and I stare, knowing when I lock eyes with the moon and stars, I feel you, the cold shiver going down my body. When I speak your name, the goosebumps I get when I remember your warmth. You may be stuck in the past, but your soul and the warmth that I remember will always be with me. You're not just in my heart, but in everything that I do. And I stay strong for you, Aurora, because I know if I didn't, no one else would. Rest easy.
I'm gonna say something. Hi, my name's Ryan. I was a gymnast for a lot of years at Campia, and I'm also a coach and a judge. I never got the pleasure of personally knowing Aurora, but everyone always talked about her. I heard her name before I even seen her face. And she was a really good friend of my sister, and I'm forever going to be grateful for that. I remember actually at a Dream Big, I judged that competition, and I remember looking at Avery, and I was like, who is that girl, and why is her smile so big? Like, what happened in her day that and Avery was like, she just looks like that. She's just always smiling. And I just thought that was awesome. So I think that everyone in this room should try and live the rest of their lives with a smile like Aurora would have. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Abigail. A lot of you probably don't really know me, but I was best friends with Aurora for a really long time, and I'm so honored to have been called her best friend for as long as I did. We knew each other since we were babies. We grew up together, and as we got older, we grew apart a little bit, but she never stopped talking to me. I'm so glad that we never stopped talking. We always spent birthdays together. I was always over to her house, or she was over to mine. She was like a sister to me. Pearson was like my brother. You still are, Pearson. Her family is like a second family to me. And I'm so glad that I have so many memories with her. They go on, and I've been thinking about them ever since Monday. More and more is coming back to me, because we pretty much spent our whole lives together. And I'm so glad on Monday we talked more than we usually did, by some chance. And we laughed while doing math equations. And I hope she knows how much I love her, and that I always will. And that she'll always be like the sister I never had. And I'll never stop thinking about her. And I'll never stop wearing pink. And I'll never stop speaking her name. And I love her. And I love your family. And you guys, Heather and Wes, you're still like my second parents. And I love you guys so much.
Hi, my name is Lexi, and I met Aurora from doing NL games with her. The passing of Aurora leaves an ache in all the hearts who knew her. She was the light in many lives of many, bringing warmth, laughter, and kindness to everyone she encountered. Her presence was like a gentle glow, filling every room with positivity and joy, whether it was through her infectious smile or her unwavering support, or her ability to lift up others. Aurora left a lasting impact on everyone fortunate enough to cross her path. Though she may no longer be with us, her memory will live on forever. The world feels a little dimmer without her, but we hold on to the beautiful moments she gifted us, knowing that her spirit will forever remain in the love she shared, the lives she touched. The passing of Aurora at just 14 is a heartbreaking loss, one that feels even more profound when the distance between us prevents us from being there in our final moments. At such a young age, she already touched so many lives with her warmth, her laughter, and her ability to make anyone feel seen and valued. The miles that separate us now feel like an overwhelming gap, one that makes the grief even harder to bear. Despite the distance, the bond I shared with Aurora was undeniable, a reminder that true connection doesn't depend on proximity. Her passing leaves a void that words cannot fill. A pain that not able to say goodbye in person was something I will carry with me. But even in her absence, Aurora's light continues to shine brightly in our hearts, her spirit that will never fade. Losing Aurora, my long-distance best friend, in such a tragic accident is a pain that words can't fully express. We shared countless memories, even though separated by miles. Our bond always felt close, like no distance could ever truly divide us. The shock of her sudden passing has left a deep emptiness in my heart. It's hard to believe she's gone. I find myself wishing I could have been there for her in those last moments, wishing I could have said goodbye, but I hold on to the love and memories we created, knowing that even though she's no longer here in a spirit, the miles between us can never lessen the strength of our friendship, and the love will continue to guide me through this heartbreak. Aurora was the purest example of selflessness, always putting others before herself with her heart full of compassion. No matter the situation, she would go out of her way to lift up others, offering a support, a listening ear, or a simple smile to make someone's day brighter. She had the ability to see the best in everyone, and her kindness knew no bounds. Her presence was like a burst of light, able to turn even the toughest days into moments of comfort and hope. Whether it was a comfort word or a spontaneous act of kindness, she always made others feel valued and loved. The world is darker without her, but her spirit, her light, and her unwavering love for others will forever be remembered, continuing to inspire those who were lucky enough to know her. Aurora's smile was the purest thing you could ever see, a radiant expression that seemed to light up everything around her. It was genuine, untainted by any bitterness or hesitation, and had a way of making everything feel right in the world, even during the toughest times. When she smiled, it was as if the weight of the world was lifted, and her joy became contagious, spreading to everyone nearby. There was something about the way her eyes sparkled with kindness and the warmth in her grin that made it impossible not to smile back. It reflected the purity of her heart, the love she cared for others, and the brightness she brought into every room. Thank you.
Aurora was like the other younger sister I never knew how much I needed. Growing up with Aurora was like an experience I don't think I could explain to anyone else. From hearing her run through the hallway shrieking with Kate to barging into my room and showing me a new dance they had just learned, or just coming in and laying on my bed like I ever invited them in, even though I'd never complain. Spending summers upon summers together, laughing until we couldn't breathe. I can't imagine another summer without her. I wish I could have told her once just how much I love her. She had a soul like no other and a smile so infectious it didn't matter the circumstances. She could always brighten my day. I'm gonna miss spending days on end, swimming, and me and Kate fighting for who could shower first so that we could all use the hot water. Screaming music together and laughing so hard I couldn't even feel my stomach. And you sitting there with that purple shampoo in your hair that you had to wash 3 times because your hair was still purple was a memory I don't think I'll ever forget. Or playing cornhole and always missing and having to chase Weasley away because he was always in the way. I love you so much, and I can't imagine another day without you.
Is there anybody else that would like to say a tribute to Aurora before we move on? Well, if not, I just want to remind everybody that there will be a lunch served here at the church for family and friends after the service. As we leave, again, there will be a song by Taylor Swift playing. So unfortunately, the folks online, you will not be able to hear that song. But I believe they've arranged for some music to be played instead of that. So if we can ask Aurora's Ariel's team. Okay, just to remind everybody that we will be coming back here after the ceremony service for the lunch. And again, as we proceed out, we will be hearing Taylor Swift's Ronan, I think it's called. So we'll be meeting at the cemetery.